Hi everyone, I'm here again doing another live stream because I want to talk to you about live streaming. Yesterday we talked about live streaming and I did it using just a smartphone. I used my iPhone, but what I did there was I actually connected my wireless mic, which actually made it much better to get some good audio. So if you're running a conference, one of the problems is with an iPhone or any one of these phones or even tablets, if you're at a distance, the audio is not going to be great. So you can go and have a look at that. I've got the link below in the description, so you can go and have a look at that one from yesterday. So I recorded that yesterday. And I do actually also have a video as well that shows you how to connect a wireless mic to this. And I've got suggestions of what equipment you would get to do that as well. But today, what I'm doing is actually doing this using my laptop, and I've got my computer connected to it. I've got my iPad with a presentation on it. And I just want to show you some of the things that you could do if you were actually going to be live streaming. So I think I've got some music running in the background there. Let's just get rid of that. Sorry, I'm doing all this myself. I do a lot of this, and I do this for clients. And I often do conferences and events and announcements and things like that. Often multi-camera, quite often split screen with a camera and a slideshow presentation. I'm going to show you how that looks in a moment. And also I do it with multiple cameras and also presentations as well, or just things like this. So as I said, I do a lot of it. So if you need any of that done, well, you can always ask for my advice or for me to do it if you like. But I also do teach people how to live stream, whether it's going to be with their smartphone like this, or actually setting the whole thing up. So I've got connectors here connecting it to my laptop, and I've got multiple feeds. I've got a camera here, which I'm going to show you how that's going to work in a moment. And I've got obviously the camera that I'm looking at now. So one of the great things about being able to do this as a presentation like this, as opposed to your smartphone, is you've got control. It's like a vision mixer, which they use in a studio. So that way you can have a really professional output. So whilst people are waiting, you can have something rolling. So I did actually have this, and you can watch it at the beginning, and you could just have rolling slides with information or pre-recorded video content to keep your audience engaged whilst they're waiting for the slideshow to start, rather the presentation to start. So this is what you could have if people were just waiting. And then when it's time to start, I come up, I can make captions appear and disappear, obviously, so I'd have all the names of all the presenters in there. I've got over here, got to get this right, just there, I've got the logo on the screen, so you could have that. You could have picture in picture, all sorts of things. So as I said to you, a lot of it is recording conferences, and they will have things like a PowerPoint presentation, which I've got here. So how do I deal with that, and how does that look when it comes up on screen? Well, it looks like this, and it's something that you can decide where you want it on the screen. You can change the size. So I'm just going to change the size of my PowerPoint here. So let me just do that. So you'll see it in a moment. And bosh, I could have it that kind of size. Now, that's all well and good. You can do all sorts of other things here. You could have it maybe rotate round a little bit like this. And then I could also have myself rotated round, so I can have it a bit angled like this. If it looks a little bit rough and ready, that's because I'm doing this on the fly, and this would all be set up and agreed with the client in advance. And I could also have at the bottom text there as well, so it could have other information pop up too. So these are all the things that actually you can do to make you have like a good presentation. Actually, let me just go back to that for a minute, because I've got the presentation right here. So I can actually move through my presentation. This one is my photography course. where I take people, get them used to my camera, their camera rather, and how to take good photos and then how to edit them as well. I do also have a video training course as well, and as I mentioned, live streaming and green screen and a whole load of other things. So keep a look out on my website, and you can go to jargonfreehelp.com for that, or even shootwithschwartz.com. Hey, you know what? I'll put those up on the screen. Let's just put the Jargon Free Help site up there for the moment. And just to show you, I can quickly create some text here to do the Shoot with Schwartz one. So here we go. You're getting this all live as it happens, as if you were in the studio. Right, let's do that one instead. So, and I've changed the font as well. So if you want to make a note of that, I can put the links in so you can follow them. So these are all the things you can do. I can quickly switch to all of these, and I'm going to take it back to just me on the screen here. So that's what you can do if you want to do some proper professional live streaming. You're asking what software am I using? There is different software for this. I use something called Wirecast because I like it, and I can save different scenarios as well, different setups with all the captions and everything in place. And where that's useful is that I do a lot of live streaming every week, and I set it up in advance so that I've got all the captions, rolling slides, all that kind of thing, logos for each one of my clients, and also now for myself as well. And I can just save it and open that file. With some others, you can't do that. You've got just kind of one setup. They're good, but I think this works really well. And I can use this for things like sports, get action replays, have the score come up, have Twitter feeds, and in fact even have polling and things like that as well through Facebook. So right now I am streaming to two different sources. I'm streaming to YouTube and also to Facebook, but I could be streaming elsewhere as well. So there's quite a few other options here. So if you're thinking about live streaming, why is live streaming useful? Well, aside from the fact that unfortunately at the moment we've got this coronavirus going around, and this morning I've just been fielding calls and emails regarding that. How are people going to deal with it? They've got a conference coming up, of which I'm already filming them. And they've had a big dropout rate because of the coronavirus, because a lot of people are coming from overseas and they've been advised not to travel. And some countries, I believe, are not allowing their medics to travel. And I do a lot of medical conference as well. Not the only ones, but there's quite a few of those. So we're live streaming them. We also got the problem of what will we do if the speakers can't make it? But that's another story. There's other options there, such as Skype or WebEx, to deal with that. But right now we're looking at getting it out to those audiences. And I can tell you that there is one conference, they've had a dropout rate. They're down to 10% of their audience. So it looks like it's almost going to be a closed conference, and we're just going to film it and live stream it with just a few people there, which will be good because they'll be able to ask some questions. It's really unfortunate, this virus, but live streaming is also good for engaging your audience and also growing your business with it, because live streaming seems to get a lot of attention on things like YouTube and Facebook, and they use their algorithms, and it does get a bit of a boost. And I have noticed that when we have live streamed, as opposed to recording it and putting it up later, they get far more hits immediately, not just at the time of the live stream, but afterwards. The other day I did one, they got about 15 views at the time of the live stream. Following afternoon, it was almost 400, because it somehow captures that information that's live streamed, and maybe it's a bit important and puts it up there. Who knows? Maybe this will do the same. If you're liking what I'm doing, please do like the video as well. So I've got my PowerPoint, which I showed you there, and that could come off a iPad or other sort of tablet as well. But you can also have another camera as well. So I've just plugged this camera in. It is on. Maybe it's gone to sleep. Let's see, is it asleep? Maybe. Yeah, come on. That's, maybe it's gone a bit quiet. These things happen, don't they? Let me just see what's going on here. Just bear with me 1 second. So that is not liking it. So these things happen when you switch over sometimes. And why have I not got, maybe I didn't push it in far enough. There you go. This is what happens when you're doing it live. You don't do things properly, and also I wouldn't be switching over in the middle of something for real. So just so that you can see the difference that I've got here, it's going to come through here. Let me just flip over and you can actually see what I'm doing. So this is the keyboard. You can see a little bit, it might not be quite in focus here, but you can see all the choices I've got. You're going to see that I can now choose my other camera here, and you'll see that now when I click, it takes you back to me. So that's a bit of what you can do with live streaming, and I could cut backwards and forwards between, sorry, and there goes the microphone. That's because I stood up and knocked it out. So these are the things that you can do. Really, really kind of useful to get this just right. I would say if you want to do this, make sure you practice it, test it out. If you're doing this on YouTube, make sure that your channel is actually enabled for live streaming. And another thing to be aware of, if you do enable it for live streaming, which you find it under the settings, if you want to know these things, do feel free to contact me. You can contact me through my website, and I think the Shoot with Schwartz one actually is probably the best one to do that through. But I would say that although you may have it enabled for live streaming, if you want to do it with your mobile, you need to make sure it's enabled for that as well. So the other day I noticed that one of my channels, although it's enabled for live streaming, wasn't enabled for the mobile version. So I had to make sure that that happened as well. These are all important things. Test it, test it, test it. This is really important if you're going to do a live stream and make it work successfully. Always give yourself plenty of time to set up. As you can see, I plugged in a cable and it didn't connect immediately because I was doing it live and I shouldn't be doing switching around between them. So just so you know, if you do want to know more about this, if you want to learn more about this, one, I'll be doing some tutorials online, but I can also come to you, or you can come to one of the scheduled sessions and learn how to live stream as well. Another neat thing about live streaming with this software is if I had a green screen behind me, I could superimpose me somewhere else as well, just like they do with the weather. Maybe you want some special effects and things like that. So all of this is really useful, I think, for doing live streaming. So I'm just actually going to look here because I've got my YouTube running, and I just want to see here if anyone maybe has popped any questions on the chats on there, so I can just have a quick look. No, nobody has put anything on there, so let me just check here. So sorry, you're waiting for me to do things whilst I do that. So there we go. So that's it from me today. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're not too concerned about this coronavirus, but doing the right thing, keeping your hands clean and that, and hopefully it's not going to affect any of your conferences or events or announcements. Thanks for watching. I hope that this has helped you, and do remember, if you like what you see, you can subscribe below and find out more, and you'll see when I get more of these videos out there. If you don't already know, I've got already on my channel, on the Jargon Free Help one, over 350 videos on things like photography, video, a lot on Excel, how-to guides, Word, PowerPoint, Access, and so on. And there's a few others in there as well. So there's also some photography and video there, but on the Shoot with Schwartz one, let me just bring this up again so you've got that over here. I am going to predominantly have that photography and video in a way that's going to be very simple and easy to understand. So the idea behind that is that it's for you. It's meant to be nice and simple and easy for you to understand. So trying to take out the technical side of it and just make it get you inspired and show you how to make good photos and videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.